Good morning, everybody. I am Srinivasulu Vempati, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, Nagarjuna Government Degree College, Nalgonda. Today, we will discuss amines part 4, not 3, it's a part 4. Part 4. So, in the previous classes, we have discussed about amines. Okay. In the previous classes, we have discussed oh, what are amines, and what is the classification of amines and nomenclature of amines. In addition to that, we have discussed different preparation methods for amines. Those include ammonolysis of alkyl halides, reduction of amides, Gabriel thalamide synthesis, and Hoffman bromide synthesis, and finally Smith reaction. So all these reactions we learn how to prepare different amines. Then we discussed physical properties of amines. After that, amines, how we use amines as phase transfer catalyst. So what is phase transfer catalyst? How it works? We discussed with mechanism. Then followed by chemical properties of amines. Now we are discussing chemical properties of amines. So in chemical properties, we have discussed uh, two properties. First, we discussed what basic character of amines. So how they are basic? Because of having a lone pair of electrons, it can donate to the electrophilic centers. That's why it shows basic nature. And also it can provide a proton to the base. That's why it's by accepting proton or by donating electron pair. So by these two things we can say that amines are bases. Okay. When we compare the different basicity of aliphatic and aliphatic and primary and secondary and tertiary amines basicity as per plus I effect. Then coming to alkylation and acylation, we discussed two things. Today we'll discuss carbyl amine reaction and Hinsberg separation method of primary, secondary, tertiary amines, and finally reaction of amines with nitrous acid. So today in this part we will discuss three chemical reactions, chemical properties. One is carbyl amine test. Second one is Hinsberg separation of amines. Third one is reaction of amines with nitrous acid. So first of all, we discuss carbyl amine test. So already we discussed this. We know this reaction in intermediate. What is carbyl amine reaction? So this is also known as isocyanide reaction. You see, this is also known as isocyanide reaction. So what is this reaction? When amines, especially primary amines, when they react with chloroform and base, then this mixture on heating, it will give a foul smell compound. Very important this one. It is giving very foul smell, bad smell, a very specific smell. A compound with specific bad smell is called foul smell. So evolving of foul smell in the laboratory indicates that is our amine, primary amine. So this is carbyl amine test. It is also known as isocyanide test. Why it is isocyanide test? So in the reaction product is a isocyanide. So in this reaction we are getting isocyanide which has a foul smell. So this is the reaction. RnH2, when it reacts with chloroform with KOH, on heating it is giving isocyanate plus potassium chloride and water. Then, for example, for alkyl amines you take methylamine or aminobenzene, what we call is aniline. When methylamine, when reacts with this chloroform and KOH or NaOH, on heating it is giving methyl isocyanide. When you take aniline in the as a amine, aminobenzene is aromatic amine. When it reacts with chloroform and NaOH, on heating of this mixture, we are getting phenyl isocyanide. So anyhow, in all these reactions, we are getting a specific compound called phenyl isocyanide. It has a foul smell. The evolving of foul smell gas indicates that is a primary amine. Especially, so this test is given by primary amines. Okay, this is about carbyl amine. These are the different examples. Okay, alkyl amines, when on heating with mixture of chloroform and NaOH or KOH, we are getting a foul smell gas, that is isocyanide, alkyl isocyanide or aryl isocyanide. So these isocyanates are having foul smell. That's why it is called isocyanide reaction as well as carbyl amine. Isocyanates also known as carbyl amines. That's why it is a carbyl amine reaction or isocyanide reaction. Okay. Then, so what are the some specific things about this? Okay. So primary amines give this test. I already told you. Only primary, secondary amine, tertiary amines, they react. Maybe they may be react, but they don't give that foul smell gas. That's why this reaction is given by only primary amines. Aliphatic as well as aromatic primary amines is Q test. It is used to identify primary amines, whether aromatic or aliphatic. It is very important application of this reaction. So whenever you have given a amine, if you test for whether it is if you check, you ask to check whether it is a primary or secondary or tertiary, simply by doing this test, you take some sample, 2-3 drops of sample, given sample, and add mixture of NaOH and chloroform, CHCl3. On heating, you get a foul smell that indicates, that confirms the given compound is primary amine. So in this reaction, if you see, you get if you use a neutral electrophile called dichlorocarbene. It is a neutral electrophile. In organic chemistry, we come across with different electrophiles, carbocations, carbon radicals, carbanions, carbenes, nitrines. This is a one type of carbene, dichlorocarbene. It's a neutral electrophile. You see, okay, this is a neutral electrophile. So tertiary and secondary amines doesn't give this test. This is something about our carbyl amine test. So what is the mechanism? If you see the mechanism, see, first in the first what happens? This chloroform, CHCl3, what we call is chloroform, trichloromethane. On reaction with base, this hydrogen shows best acidic nature because this hydrogen attached to carbon, which is in turn attached to 3 chloroatoms. The chloroatoms are highly electronegative. Due to this electronegativity of chlorines, carbon becomes electropositive. Due to this electropositivity of carbon, this CH bond electrons are attracted towards carbon. That's why base can easily accept proton by giving this type of ion. So H2O and this compound CCl3 minus. So this CCl3 minus, by losing one Cl to potassium ion, it is giving dichlorocarbene. So this is dichlorocarbene. You see carefully, this is dichlorocarbene, CCl2. Carbon is attached to two chlorine atoms, and it has one electron pair, and it has a low vacant orbital. So having vacant orbital, it can accept electrons from others. That's why it is electron seeking substance. That's why it acts as electrophilic reagent. It is a neutral, it is not having any charge. That's why it is called neutral. It is example for neutral electrophile. So coming to next, this neutral electrophile is because of having electron deficiency, it can attack on amines. In the vicinity, in the we have amines when we added. That's why these are the reaction vessel or test tube. That's why electron pair, amine, it donates electron pair to the carbon, which is electron deficient, by forming a carbon nitrogen bond. After that, this nitrogen becomes positive charge. So this hydrogen is leaved as H plus to the hydroxide ion by forming this type of anion. This anion, after leaving an HCl, so this H and this Cl, it is like this. So on losing HCl, we are getting isocyanide. So this is our product, reaction product. So this is the mechanism. So once again I repeat, first formation of dichlorocarbon. How chloroform? Chloroform loses one proton to the base, forming this trichlorocarbon anion. After losing one Cl minus, it is giving dichlorocarbon. In this reaction, dichlorocarbon acts as a reactive intermediate, which is an electrophilic reagent. This electrophilic reagent is attacked on amines. In amine, is electron pair donates. It donating electron pair from nitrogen to the carbon, electron deficient carbon in dichlorocarbon, forming this type of ion. On losing of HCl, we can getting this type of compound. On losing of one more HCl to the KOH, it is giving isocyanate or single bond N plus charge, triple bond C with minus charge. So this is called isocyanate. This is the mechanism for isocarbylamine reaction. So this is about carbylamine. What is carbylamine reaction? When primary amines, maybe aliphatic or aromatic, when they react with chloroform and NaOH or KOH, it is giving a foul smell gas, which is called isocyanate. This is carbylamine test. Next, we'll go to next Hinsberg method. What is Hinsberg method? Why it is used? So in Hinsberg separation, it's called separation. So in this separation, we can separate primary, secondary, tertiary amines mixture independently. So we can separate these one primary, 1 degree, 2 degree and 3 degree amines from the mixture using this benzene sulfonyl chloride. That's why this is called as Hinsberg reagent. In the case of benzene sulfonyl chloride, we can use tosyl sulfonyl chloride, para-tosyl sulfonyl. So because of this electron delete nature of methyl, it's more efficient reagent. That's why we can use this. So that's why benzene sulfonyl chloride acts as Hinsberg reagent. Okay, so primary and secondary amines react with this benzene sulfonyl chloride, giving corresponding sulfonamides because of having hydrogens. Primary amine, secondary amine is having n hydrogens, whereas tertiary amine doesn't have hydrogens or nitrogen. That's why this does not react and doesn't give any stable product or doesn't form any sulfonamide. So you can react in other way, but this reaction doesn't occur. So this is a okay. Next slide. You see what is happening in the reaction. You see primary amine. First you take primary amines. This is the primary amine. Primary amine when react with benzene sulfonyl chloride, then it donates electron pair to the sulfur. You see this is sulfur. Why sulfur? Sulfur is attached to two electronegative oxygen atom with double bond. That's why it is very electron deficient. That's why nitrogen attacks on electrophilic sulfur. Then by forming carbon nitrogen sulfur bond. After leaving Cl minus, we are getting this type of H. This compound is leaving and react with the KOH. This H is goes as H plus, and the Cl is goes as Cl minus. So that means it is losing one HCl. So OH plus H2O, this is H2O and KCl. So we are getting this type of compound. What is this? Then finally, okay, this is called N-alkyl sulfonamide. Which one? This one. I am saying that this is called N-alkyl sulfonamide. This N-alkyl sulfonamide still has one hydrogen and nitrogen. It is there one. It has some hydrogen, one hydrogen. That's why it is acidic. Why? Because N is linked to sulfonyl group. That's why it is electron deficient. That's why this hydrogen bond, nitrogen bond becomes polar. Thus hydrogen is may go, may break or go as H plus, may leave as H plus. That's why the presence of base. That means this compound is soluble in NaOH or KOH. So primary amines, when they form sulfonamides, these sulfonamides which are formed by primary amines is soluble in NaOH. It forms a very clear solution with sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. So in the case of secondary amine, you see this one. Secondary amine, when they react with benzene sulfonyl chloride, it also forms corresponding N-alkyl, N-dialkyl sulfonamide. Oh, this one. You see this one. This is N-dialkyl sulfonamide. Because of lacking of N hydrogen, that is, this compound doesn't have any protic proton or protic nature of hydrogen, acidic nature of hydrogen. That's why this compound doesn't react with NaOH, doesn't dissolve in NaOH. So there is a difference. Primary amine compound derivative of sulfonamide is dissolved in NaOH, whereas the secondary amine derivative doesn't dissolve in NaOH. Whereas our tertiary amine doesn't react with our benzene sulfonyl chloride. So this is a basic reaction. Okay. So when using this the reaction, we can separate our primary and secondary tertiary amines from reaction mixture as a mixture. So when you are given a mixture, you are asked to separate this. First what to do? You have to dissolve in this mixture in ether. So all these compounds being organic compounds, for example, you take ethylamine, primary ethylamine, secondary N-diethylamine, N-triethylamine. So these are the mixture. These all three compounds are soluble in ether. So all are in ether. When this ether solvent having different amines, 1 degree, 2 degree and 3 degree, we are adding benzene sulfonyl chloride along with NaOH. So you see, I just now discussed primary amine, secondary amine react with benzene sulfonamide chloride by giving primary N-alkyl sulfonamide, N-dialkyl sulfonamide. That means tertiary amine doesn't react with, it can easily separate it. So in the aqueous phase, we have these two. Which one? N-alkyl sulfonamide, N-dialkyl sulfonamide. That is 1 degree amine sulfonamide, 2 degree amine sulfonamide. Then this mixture is treated with NaOH. When it is treated with NaOH, the compound, the derivative which is derived from primary amine easily dissolves in NaOH because of having a proton. That's why it is soluble, whereas the second one is insoluble. So you can easily separate out. So adding HCl to the basic solution can easily get taken primary amine. Then we can separate out. So in this way, by using benzene sulfonyl chloride and NaOH, we can separate primary, secondary, tertiary amines from mixture using benzene sulfonyl chloride. That's why this benzene sulfonyl chloride is called as Hinsberg reagent. In this way, we can separate. Going to the next reaction of amines. Reaction of amines with nitrous acid. Okay, this is a third reaction. Reaction of amines. So primary amines we have three types: primary 1 degree, 2 degree, and 3 degree. That means primary amines, secondary amines, tertiary amines. We don't discuss about partner amines. They may different. They are not actually amines. They are salts. So these primary and secondary tertiary amines also behave differently with nitrous acid. So what is nitrous acid? This formula is HNO2, nitrous acid. So these amino compounds, when they react with nitrous acid, they all are they all are react with this nitrous acid, but they different they react with it different manner. They give different products. So by can using this different product difference in products, we can easily differentiate this amines. We can't separate. We can differentiate. In the previous example, in the previous test, we have separated. We had given mixture of primary, secondary, tertiary amines. So using the Hinsberg reagent, we separated. But this reaction is only used to identify the given primary amine or secondary amine or tertiary amine. We can easily uh, separate, differentiate. So what is the reaction? So this is the reaction. Amines, primary amines, when they react with sodium nitrite and HCl. Why we are using sodium nitrite HCl? So HNO2 is very unstable. HNO3 is stable, but this is not stable. Nitrous acid. It is different from nitric acid. Nitric acid is very stable, whereas nitrous acid is unstable. It dissociates into different compounds, different molecules. That's why we have to prepare in situ conditions. That means reaction conditions. When we require, in that time only we have to prepare. How do we prepare? Adding sodium nitrate to HCl aqueous acid will get HNO2. This HNO2 is reacted with our primary amine or secondary amine or tertiary amine. You see, this is a primary amine reaction. This primary amine reaction, primary amine, when react with HNO2 in presence of 0 to 5 degrees. Why? Because it's more than this. This is unstable. HNO2 is very unstable. Already I told you we have prepared this in situ conditions. That's why we have to prepare in situ condition, and we have to use less temperature at 0 to 5 degrees. So at this temperature, low temperature, it forms diazonium salt. The alkyl diazonium chloride. You see, this is alkyl diazonium chloride, Rn2 plus Cl, along with NaClH2. These are the byproducts. So what is the product? Primary amine, when they react with nitrous acid, it is giving diazonium salt. These diazonium salts easily aliphatic diazonium salts, when they react with water, in presence of water, you see, aliphatic diazonium salts. Okay. So aliphatic diazonium salts, easy when they react with water, they will give alcohols by evolving nitrogen gas. This is very important. Aliphatic diazonium compounds are unstable. Unstable. That's why easily undergo hydrolysis in presence of water by giving alcohol and a nitrogen gas. So evolution of nitrogen gas easily we can detect. That's why if an amine, when they react with the nitrous acid, if they evolve nitrogen gas, we can say that is an aliphatic primary amine. Whereas aromatic primary amines doesn't react with cold water. It may react with in different way. That's why aliphatic amines, aliphatic diazonium salts are unstable, easily undergo hydrolysis with water by giving alcohol and nitrogen. So in this way, we can test the primary amine. So for example, what is for example is ethylamine. You see ethylamine, when they react with the sodium nitrate and HCl, sodium nitrite and HCl, you see, so it is giving NN diethyl, no, no, sorry, ethyl diazonium chloride. Ethylamine, when it reacts with nitrous acid, it is giving ethyl diazonium chloride. This is unstable, I already told you. On addition of water, it is undergoing hydrolysis by giving nitrogen and ethanol. So evolving of nitrogen gas indicates it is a aliphatic primary amine. You see the another example. You see another example is aromatic amine. What is this aminobenzene? Aniline, what we call is aniline. So the aminobenzene or aniline, when react with nitrous acid on at 0 to 5 degrees centigrade, it is giving benzene diazonium halide. If you take chloride, we'll get chloride, benzene diazonium chloride. If you take HBr, we get benzene diazonium bromide. Okay, like that. So anyhow, we get benzene diazonium salt. This benzene diazonium salt is stabilized by resonance. Why? Because to see this N is plus charge, it is attached to benzene ring. It is in conjugation with benzene ring. We know benzene ring shows plus Mesometric effect. Due to electron delocalization, it easily electron gives to the this plus charge is nullified. The charge is stabilized by resonance. That's why benzene diazonium chloride. So aromatic diazonium salts are more stable when we compare to aliphatic diazonium salts. That's why aromatic diazonium salts not undergo hydrolysis easily at cold conditions. That's why it is stable. It doesn't give alcohol. In this way, we can separate aromatic and aliphatic amines too. We can differentiate, not separate. We can differentiate. Aliphatic amines with HNO2, they will give diazonium salts which are unstable, then easily undergo not unstable, stable, but when we compare to aromatic diazonium salts, somehow less stable. So it is stabilized by alkyl plus plus effect of alkyl group, somehow stable. So that's why this aliphatic diazonium salt on hydrolysis with water, it is giving alcohol, whereas aromatic diazonium salt is not undergoing hydrolysis at normal conditions. So that's why anyhow primary amines gives aliphatic amines react with nitrous acid, giving evolving nitrogen, they are giving alcohols. Whereas aromatic amines also react with this nitrous acid, they are giving most stable benzene diazonium salts, which do not undergo hydrolysis. They don't give hydroxy compounds. That is a different thing. Next slide. Okay, what is the mechanism? Very important one. It's a very specific one. You see the mechanism. Okay, so you see, what is the first step? When HNO2, you see very carefully, this is, oh, sorry, mechanism. You see, NaNO2 and HCl. In combination of these two, we are forming NaCl and HNO2. So we require this HNO2. Structure of HNO2 is like this: N double bond O OH. You see, this is N double bond O OH. It is nitrous acid. This nitrous acid, on acidification, this alcohol O is having two electron pairs. It donates electron pair to the proton by forming OH bond. This bond is formed. In this ion, O with plus charge, which we know oxygen doesn't pair plus charge, it attacks the bond electron of oxygen nitrogen. This bond breaks. So by forming a nitrosonium electrophile, NO plus ion, which acts as a electrophile. You see, N is having plus charge. That's why it is acts as electrophile. What is this? What is this? Nitrosonium ion. So it is formed on acidification of nitrous acid. Nitrous acid and addition of proton, by leaving one water molecule, it is forming nitrosonium ion electrophile. This nitrosonium electrophile ion is attacks on amines which are in the reaction vessel. So the amine, in the amines, the nitrogen having electron pair, this electron pair is donates to this electrophile. Electrophile, which one electrophile? Which is a seeking, electron seeking system is called electrophile. So amines are electron rich, and that means bases which acts as a nucleophiles. This nucleophile donates electron pair to the nitrosonium electrophile by forming NN bond. You see, a specific bond, NN bond is formed. See, not CC bond, not CN bond, it's NN bond. Okay. Then, this when nitrogen gets plus charge, it abstracts proton, this bond electron from hydrogen. This hydrogen goes as H plus by forming this type of ion. You see this type of ion. This type of ion. Then This on ketoenol tautomerization. You see, this is a nitroso form. It is a enol form. Double bonded group is attached to OH. You see carefully, it is enol. It is nitroso. What is happening here? Double bond and proton is shifting in reverse manner, in opposite manner. It is enol form. It is nitroso form. That's why these are called tautomers. That's why this is a tautomerization. Due to tautomerization, it forms enol. This enol and finally on acidification and leaving one water molecule is forming a RN double bond N plus. It is unstable electron. If nitrogen having electron pair, it donates to this nitrogen by forming stable diazonium salt. So this is stable. When we compare these two ions which are in resonance, this one and this one, this is more stable than this. That's why electron reduction takes place. That's why this is in more composition, more percentage. That's why it is stable. So in this way, we can get diazonium ion, aliphatic. In the same way, we get aromatic. If you take in the place of R, if you take aromatic ring, if you take aromatic ring, we get this benzene diazonium ion. So this benzene diazonium ion is stable. How can we say stable? This place charge is in conjugation with benzene ring. So we know benzene is mesomeric effect. It easily stabilizes. It stabilizes this plus charge, which is in conjugation with the benzene ring through plus positive mesomeric effect. So that's why aromatic diazonium ions are more stable when you compare to aliphatic diazonium salts. That's why aliphatic diazonium salts easily undergo hydrolysis with water at room temperature only by giving alcohol and nitrogen gas. Whereas aromatic diazonium salts doesn't hydrolyze at ordinary temperatures or low temperatures. Then coming to the secondary. You see, so far we discussed only reaction of nitrous acid with primary amines only. Coming to the secondary amines. This is the size you see, this is the secondary amine. You see? Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, okay. This is secondary amine, isn't it? N nitrogen liquid, two alkyl groups, one hydrogen. If the amine in amines, nitrogen has only one hydrogen, we can say the secondary amine. It is to have two hydrogen, you can say primary amine or 1 degree amine. 1 degree amine has two hydrogens, 2 degree amines has one hydrogen, 3 degree amines doesn't have any hydrogen. That's the basic thing we know. So this 2 degree amine, when they react with the nitrous acid HNO2, easily undergo dehydration of water. It easily leaves one water molecule by forming this nitroso compound. You see carefully, this is a nitroso compound. You see, this is name of the compound is N-nitroso dialkylamine. It is pale yellow color. See, whereas primary amine doesn't give any precipitate. It is giving alcohol by evolving nitrogen gas. Secondary amine with HNO2 at same 0 to 5 degrees centigrade, it is by dehydration taking place by leaving one water molecule. We are observing a nitroso compound, N-nitroso dialkylamine. It is pale yellow color compound, precipitate. Okay, this is which for example, if you take diethylamine, which is secondary amine, and then one H is there. This diethylamine, when it reacts with nitrous acid, you see this is a diethylamine. It has one hydrogen. Here, not written one hydrogen. It has one hydrogen. Okay, this secondary amine, when react with nitrous acid, it forms N-nitroso diethylamine, which is pale yellow color precipitate. Coming to the tertiary amine, 3 degree amine. This 3 degree amine, when it reacts with acid, it undergo addition reaction, acid-base reaction by giving salt. It acts as base, it acts as acid, it by giving a salt, trialkyl ammonium nitrite soluble salt. It is salt. It is soluble in water aqueous solution. That's why it doesn't give any precipitate or any nitrogen gas. Actually, this is not at all reaction. It's acid-base reaction. It is dissolved. It is dissolved in nitrous acid by forming a salt. So, for example, to take triethylamine, you see, it's a triethylamine. Triethylamine with HNO2, it is giving triethylammonium nitrite salt soluble. So, in this way, you see, observe carefully, primary amines are giving what? Nitrogen gas. You see, primary amines are evolving nitrogen gas by giving alcohol. You see, this is primary amine result. On acidification is giving alcohol. We know that. So alcohol, you see in the previous slide, is a mechanism. That's why you are not written. Not written. You see, a primary amine by evolving nitrogen gas is giving alcohol. Okay, this is the case of primary amine. You see, secondary amine is giving N-nitroso pale yellow color substance. Whereas coming to the tertiary amine, it is forming a salt by dissolving nitrous acid. That indicates there is no specific compound formation. So with this reaction, we can differentiate primary, secondary, and tertiary amines. Primary amines, when reacting with nitrous acid, it forms unstable diazonium. Aliphatic amines gives unstable diazonium salts. On hydrolysis, it is giving alcohol by evolving nitrogen gas. Evolving of nitrogen gas is very important. Only primary amines. That too aliphatic. Aromatic compounds only forms diazonium salts. They don't evolve nitrogen gas. It's a primary amines. Whereas secondary amines, when they react with nitrous acid, they are giving N-nitroso compound which is in pale color suspension, precipitate. So whereas a third degree tertiary amine doesn't react with the nitrous, simply they dissolve in nitrous acid by forming a salt which is colorless. So in this way we can differentiate primary and secondary and tertiary amines with the nitrous acid. With HNO2 reaction, with HNO2 we can differentiate primary and secondary and tertiary amines very clearly. You can differentiate. So this is today's class. So far what we have discussed, we'll recap very shortly, very quick recap. So in the first, we have discussed three reactions in this episode, in this lecture. First one is carbylamine test. Second one is Hinsberg separation or Hinsberg reaction. Third one is reaction of amines with nitrous acid. So one by one we will recap fast. So in the first, which one? Carbylamine reaction. It also known as isocyanate test. Primary amines, aliphatic or aromatic primary amines give this test. Secondary amines, tertiary amines doesn't give this test. So by this method, we can easily identify primary amines, maybe aliphatic or aromatic in the laboratory. There is an application of this reaction. What is the carbylamine reaction? When primary amines, when we add this alcoholic mixture of chloroform and NaOH or KOH. So alkalic basic solution of chloroform, mixture of chloroform and NaOH. We heat the mixture, primary amine, KOH and chloroform at small low temperatures. At 2 to 3 minutes or 1 minute we can get a foul smell. This foul smell indicates formation of isocyanides. It is the test used to identify primary amines. We have discussed the mechanism. In this mechanism, dichlorocarbon is a reactive intermediate which is a neutral electrophile. That's all. Coming to the second, Hinsberg separation. Hinsberg method. This is also used to identify, differentiate primary, secondary, tertiary amines. At the same time, we can separate this mixture of primary and secondary, tertiary mixture. We can separate it one by one. We can easily separate. So, what is the Hinsberg reagent? Benzene sulfonyl chloride is called Hinsberg reagent. By using this reagent, we can only primary and secondary means only react with this reagent by forming corresponding sulfonamide derivatives, whereas tertiary doesn't react, it forms salt. That's why is there no reaction. Primary and secondary sulfonamides formed from primary and sulfonamides derivative from primary and secondary. Primary and derivative which is derived from primary amine easily undergo undergo reaction with NaOH or KOH. It dissolves in this KOH by forming salt. Whereas sulfonamide derived from secondary amine doesn't react with doesn't dissolve in NaOH. Why? Because secondary amine sulfonamide derivative doesn't have any acidic hydrogen, whereas sulfonamide derivative of primary amine having one more hydrogen which is acidic in nature. That's why this dissolves in KOH. Secondary doesn't dissolve. So this is a difference. So tertiary amine doesn't react with this reagent, whereas primary and secondary, primary sulfonamide derivatives dissolves in KOH or NaOH, whereas secondary derivative of sulfonamide derivative of secondary amine doesn't react with dissolve in KOH. By using this technique, we can separate mixture of amine mixture which is dissolved in ether mixture. We can separate out. We coming to the third one, reaction with HNO2. So this is method is used to identify, not separate. HNO2 reaction, the three amines react differently. Whereas primary amines, when they react with nitrous acid, they will give diazonium salts, unstable, finally giving alcohol and involving nitrogen gas. Secondary amines react with nitrous acid, it forming nitroso compound, but by undergoing the elimination of water, it is pale yellow in color. Whereas third one, no reaction. First one evolves nitrogen gas, whereas second one is giving pale yellow color suspension precipitate of nitroso derivative, nitroso compound, and there is no reaction. It is formed dissolving in solution. That's why in this way we can easily differentiate primary. This method is especially used to primary, aliphatic primary, secondary, tertiary amines, whereas aromatic primary amines they don't give nitrogen gas. They stable because they are stable. They give um, stable diazonium salts with primary amines. So this is the today's reaction. We will see in the next class, next session. Thank you very much.